This isn't just chaos. This is the Tower, and it's a collective awakening. Hey, all, I'm Stephanie. I'm an intuitive energy reader, and each week I pull one tarot card to tune in to the collective energy that we're moving through, and then explore how we as individuals can consciously work with it for more awareness and ease. Before I get started, I just want to announce that if you've been holding everything together and quietly feeling exhausted like most of us, this offering is definitely for you. This Thursday, tonight, I'm going live on YouTube to hold a meditation space, a place to drop the noise, stop the inundated scrolling, and reconnect with yourself. I know it's a lot right now. It's just one more thing to do, but this pause is actually a space for you to land and be held and start to cultivate internal awareness regarding where you really are amongst the noise with no judgment. So subscribe to YouTube so you can get the live notifications, because it will be every Thursday going forward. So let's look at this card, the Tower, the collective energy reading for February 23rd through 29th. The Tower is in the major arcana of the tarot. This is a big phase of disruption, not just an event, but a big phase we're moving through. This is obvious, right? The Tower, 16. When we look at this card, the typical interpretation is always that it's the breakdown of structures. And we've been seeing the breakdown of the structures, right? And we've been pulling a lot of the minor arcana cards in these tarot insights, which are all about the day-to-day, the nitty-gritty things that we're moving through and trying to get our balance and our grounding, etc. Also, the cards have been a lot about seeing our internal selves, seeing ourselves as divine beings on this physical plane. And the spiritual aspect of this card, the Tower, is really about these internal structures that are breaking down, while at the same time, the external structures are breaking down. So we are falling out of the Tower, out of our comfort zone, out of the house we built. Whatever the feelings that you're having now, we are either choosing to kind of jump ship, or we are kind of holding on along for the ride until we get thrown off. But either way, here we are moving through the destruction of the old. And what does this mean, right? What does this really mean when we look at this card deeper? Well, what it means is that there is light that is shining through in the darkness. That is definitely the case here. The ability for us as a collective to see the duality and the multi-dimensional levels and realms, like we talked about in the last tarot insight. This is really important, that we are not just taking things for surface value. Like there is this only one reality we're looking at on our TV screens, on our phone screens, or in the things that we're reading, that there is the only reality. And that's the end all be all, right? Underneath the surface, there are things moving, integrating, and there are different layers. There are things moving, and it feels intense because it has been, reverberating energetically under the surface for so long. And now we're seeing the manifestation of the breakdown in our physical reality. The thing to remember is that this is one layer, one realm that we are seeing, that we're feeling, and it is the most intense right now because it is so strong and so destructive, and it is hitting on each and every parts of our lives, from the very small daily living to the larger future projections that we have for ourselves, for our children, for humanity, for Earth, etc. And to be honest, when I look at this card and I'm reading this energy, it really hits me in the stomach area of my physical body. I feel it in my third energetic center. That would be the third chakra. This layer is about our ability to hold our own power and see the destruction of all the things we've attributed power to on the outside world that no longer are going to be able to pretend to hold us up anymore. We see the false facade burst now. We are being asked to step into our power. And I know that's like a phrase that sounds kind of trite, like a bumper sticker, but it really is about that. And what does that mean to step into our power as a collective? It means to start to move into our ability to know our value, know our strength, know our worth, and really believe it. To feel that we can navigate life from a different place, not from one of reaction, but one of interaction and intention, from a place that originates deeper inside of ourselves. Is a value and worth really, really, really powerful. Our own awareness. And the important part of the imagery of this card is this light that hits all the darkness. The light enters all of the dark crevices and corners. The light wakes us up. The light shakes us up. And we have a choice to look at all of the darkness and destruction. We cannot ignore it. We are looking at it. We are able to see that very clearly. But we can also accept and come to realize our ability of our choice to focus our awareness. Are we focusing our awareness on just the darkness being exposed? Because we can also focus our awareness on the light that's coming in, that's doing the exposing, that is the goodness, that is the gift. The light is what is actually highlighting all the dark, cobwebby, dusty, yucky corners. So it's important to look at the energy of things because it gives us some kind of context, right? The energy of this week is about the falling, the swirling, the disorientation, and you're probably feeling it. We don't have to be beating ourselves up because we don't feel like we're standing on solid ground and we can't just find our steadiness because we absolutely are in the energy this week of topsy-turvy. It's breakdown. It's not knowing how to ground, where to ground, what to do, or who to believe, or what's next, It's actually, as we've been seeing, the breakdown of these structures beginning to happen. This is kind of a pivotal week where we're feeling it more on an embodied level, and it is so scary. So let's just acknowledge that. So how do we work with this card as individuals? How we work with this card is to acknowledge that what is without is also within. And as we are seeing the breakdown of so much stuff on the outer realms, it is a mirror to the breakdown that's happening internally for each and every one of us. And you might be seeing it in your own external, like smaller life that you're living as an individual or with your family or in your work setting or in a relationship. And this is a time of reflection. It's time to take the awareness that we have the power to focus our direct attention and our awareness and know that we're putting it on something that is going to be impactful. The impactful direction is internal, on your own internal self, and to look within and not just having like to do or make happen anything this week, because this week isn't about doing. This week is really about noticing, feeling, dropping into the fear a bit, dropping into the uncomfortable spaces that are breaking down, whether we ask them to or not. And so a practice for this week, again, like every week, is to really pay attention and to see where your awareness goes. Noticing how much of your time, attention, mental dialogue is going to the breakdown in the negative, and how much attention, awareness, and focus is going on where the light parts are. And remember, the light parts are exposing the dark parts. So that is the makeup here. And it's important and okay to acknowledge all the dark. It's okay to be in the exposure of the dark. That's where we are now. And that's where we want to be. That's what we want to be seen and uncovered. And how do you see that in yourself? What feelings does it bring up? What is coming up for you as you are seeing the more dark parts of yourself, your behaviors, maybe your thoughts and your structures that you built? Does it bring up new things to discuss? A tenderness, an honesty, quiet, need for more quiet, need for having tough conversations, need for having internal dialogue that may be difficult, and just being with all of that, because it isn't easy when the dark parts get exposed. It's not fun, and it's not pleasant, and it's not feel-good time, but it is light that's exposing the darkness. So just remembering that the light is exposing and it's making naked what once was covered up, and that part is full of potential and full of possibility for newness, for awareness, for intentions, for goals and dreams and wanderings in our minds and imaginations. That is all coming. That part is coming. This part is the acceptance of what is, acceptance of what has been. It's like staring straight in the face of the things we have avoided kind of week here. That's where we are. So your practice is to have 5 minutes at least in the morning and at least 2 other times during the day. When you are dropping into internal awareness, closing your eyes, and you're slowing your breath down. I would recommend also doing this when you are confronted with some of these uncomfortable feelings and awarenesses that are happening on the outside and the ones that are happening internally and your reactions. To just drop into the awareness and notice, wow, this hurts, or geez, this is gross, or oh, gosh, I'm like that, or I can't believe I did that. I can't believe this. I can't believe I've been like that. I've held that belief for so long. There's a lot of awareness, right, in these times. So just being with that awareness, writing in your journal if you want to expand on it, talking to a friend, if you feel comfortable. These are the times that all that can be is becoming exposed. So let's own it. Let's own up to it. Let's do this because here we are, right? I'm sending lots and lots and lots of love to everyone of you. Don't forget that I am beginning my guided live meditation on YouTube tonight at 8:30 p.m. It will be ongoing. It's Pacific time, and you can subscribe to get the notifications on YouTube so you don't miss it. I hope to see you all there. Take care.